guys, this is Harry from 5 Years Review, and today guys I'm gonna share with you guys another idea, and this is just like a reference from the one of the video which I shared before about basic mechanic skills on how we inspect the motorcycle. If there is something wrong with the motorcycle, you can easily notice it. You can consider fixing it by yourself, or you can consider visiting your mechanic to fix it for you. If it is service related or if it needs a repair, you can just go to the shop, get a spare, do it by yourself, or you can consult a skilled mechanic so that you don't damage anything from motorcycle. Yesterday I was coming home from town, and there is one thing I noticed with my motorcycle, and this one is related with the physical inspections in the category of auditory inspection, whereby you notice if there is something wrong with your motorcycle by using your ear. You can just hear. If there is a change in the sound of the motorcycle, you can easily know that because you have been having your motorcycle for some time, and you can develop a possible cause, what could be possible wrong with the motorcycle, so that you can think about how to fix it. If you have a motorcycle, once you know what is the problem, at that moment you have just solved the problem for about 90% of the problem. The rest is just a few things. But first of all is recognizing the problem or knowing the problem. That's the first solution. So yesterday I was coming home from town to see. So yesterday I was coming from town to home, and I noticed one thing with the motorcycle, which is related with the engine part. And with that said, guys, I am going to show you what's the problem with my motorcycle. This motorcycle, as you can see here, it has I can say two main parts. There is engine at the top and there is gearbox at the bottom. But once the motorcycle is brand new, very rarely to see the problem with the motorcycle. But this motorcycle has been used for quite some time. At the moment, almost about 4 years it is elapsing, and since I've been having this motorcycle, there has not been no issue with the gearbox. Everything shifts okay, and the clutch is okay, even though I think it needs to be changed at the moment. I will consider that. But at the top there we have the we have the engine block itself, and then at the top we have the engine top cover, or we have the cylinder head at the top. Yesterday I was coming back from home, and then I was just riding the motorcycle in normal speed, and then I realized there is a change of the sound. And I'm gonna share with you guys, and you're gonna hear how actually the motorcycle sounds at the moment, and then I will share with you guys on how the motorcycle sounds once I fixed it. And so let me just crank up the motorcycle. Alright guys, so I just cranked my motorcycle, and you guys, you can observe how the motorcycle shakes. I'm not so sure if you can see how the motorcycle shakes, but it's shaking violently, which means there is no stability in the engine, in the firing order system. Let me show you guys. You can clearly see how the motorcycle is shaking. You see? So with this said, guys, you can hear the sound. Alright guys, if you have a motorcycle and then you start hearing this type of sound, what you have to just consider, just come to check the engine here. There is a adjustment of timing chain. It means the timing chain is too loose, and there is a tension adjust back here on the motorcycle. You just open this one. Yesterday I tried to adjust the timing chain tension, but the sound is still the same, which means the problem is the tappet on the top here. On the tappet area, there are opening and the closing of valves but there is a space between. There is a space, there is a space between which controls how much the valve should open and close, open and close. At the moment which I came to realize the valve's opening is too wide apart, which means it's taking a long time for them to open and close, open and close. That's why you see the motorcycle is sounding that way, but also there is too much vibration with the motorcycle. If I'm riding this motorcycle, actually guys, you can clearly hear the sound on how loud the engine it is, and I'm gonna share with you guys. With this side guys, at the moment I don't have so much stuff with me, especially there is a tappet measure kit. I don't have that one, but I think my friend mechanic has it, so I'm going to share with it from him, and then we're gonna try to fix the problem, and then we see how it works. It doesn't take that much longer. We'll just we'll just remove the tank cover here, we'll just remove the top cover, we'll remove this rubber gasket here, and then we'll adjust the tappets, the tensioning, boom, we are done. With that said guys, let us see how this one is get fixed. As you hear, that's the sound when there is too loose tappets. When the tappets are too loose, that's the sound you hear. So I'm gonna get it fixed guys, and then I will show you how it's done. Alright guys, after leaving it my mechanical friend, we had to figure out only which could be the possible cause for the knocking sound from the engine. So we just took out the seat cover, and then we are going to remove the tank. Right now we're just removing the engine support bracket. Removing the engine top cover. And there are about 4 bolts. The first one, the first 2 on the right side, and the other 2 on the left side. With the top cover removed, we can see now there is the timing chain is exposed. The top cover seal is removed for inspection. rotation of the piston. This is done to mark the high position of the piston. What next here, we are going to disconnect the carburetor. We are just trying to open this bolt here, and we just snapped the Allen key here. It just snapped out. We are thinking about getting another one. Oh man, I think it was too tight. And finally it's coming out after using another Allen key. Okay, now we are loosening the cylinder head to access the valves. And this is how the piston looks like, which is not great so far. As you can see, there is some oil deposit on the top. The head looks like, if you can see, there is too much deposit on the top here, which means there is a poor firing of the plug, but also there is a leakage which comes from the gearbox coming up to the combustion chamber. That's what you can see here. So there are 2 or 3 possible solutions for this one. The first one is to consider changing the engine block, which is a little bit kind of expensive, but I think I will consider that, but not for today, I think. The second possible solution is changing the piston and the piston rings. And the third solution to this one is fixing up these valves. These valves will be removed, will be sanded down to make sure there is good opening and closing, so that there is no much deposit or there is no much oil coming from the gearbox all the way top to the cylinder head and then to the combustion chamber. That's the position which you're gonna think. At the moment we will replace, I think, the piston as well. We'll consider replacing the piston. Okay, so this is how the piston looks like, and this one is +2, which was installed in the previous time. As I said before, guys, you were hearing some of the knocking sound. You can see one of these edges is worn. This edge is worn as well. This edge is worn, and this edge is worn, which means the piston was touching on the cylinder head wall. You can see this one because it was touching on the cylinder walls. When it goes up and down, up and down, up and down, it was touching the wall. That's why it looks this way, and that's what was causing the knocking sound. And it was not the tappets, or as I thought before. All of these a few things which I've just noticed after opening the engine itself, and this is how it looks, guys. At the first I thought it could be tappet, but tappets are okay. The problem is the piston itself. So the piston, because it's worn, when it goes up and down, it was touching on the walls of the cylinder, on the walls of the cylinder head. That's why it was making some noise. As you can see here, this is a 2+ piston which was here before, and this one is Indian, and I'm going to replace this one with this one. This one is 2+ as well, but it's the Chinese one, and I just got this one out from here. On the piston kit, it shows PM 150 standard 2+. And actually at the moment we are going to replace this one because we think so far the engine block is widened a little bit, and this is going to be the last one. This is going to be the last service to replace this piston. On the next service, I think I will consider replacing the whole engine block and the new piston kit, and so much more. I think I will share with you guys, but at the moment I'm going to replace this one from this one. This one is no use, but I'm going to replace this one to this one. But at the moment, as I said before, I think the engine block needs to be replaced as well. But I'm gonna do this only this time. On the next service, I think I will consider replacing the whole engine block, and then when you fix this one. But also it comes with the piston ring here. Now it's time to fit the piston. Applying a little bit amount of gasket maker so that the gasket seal it sits very well and nicely. As you can see, the moment the piston is in high position for easy installation. And not much is used, just a little amount of it. Installation of the gasket. There it is, perfect. A little bit application of gasket maker on the engine block as well. Installation of piston locks. I'm getting petrol for testing the valves. So the piston is installed. Pouring the petrol on the exhaust manifold here. If there is a small leakage here, it means that these valves they are leaking. But as you can see, petrol is very thin and there is no leakage at all, which means there is no possibility of oil to leak. Rather, the pistons and the piston links need to be changed. Now it's time to install the engine head gasket. As you can see, this one is metal, which means it receives so much temperature. If it was a plastic, it could melt so easily, but this one is metal, so that it doesn't melt and it can withstand high temperature due to the engine operation. Little bit application of the gasket maker on the top as well, so that the engine top cover from the engine cylinder head it fits so well. So far at this stage, guys, even if you are doing some of the things by yourself, which means a DIY stuff, there is a moment you will have to see your mechanic in case if there is a need for spare parts replacement like the one which I have today. But if you have access with all tools and all spare parts at your living place or at your home, then you can just do it by yourself. But if you don't have them, and then you can visit your mechanic friend and then get a supporting hand to make sure things get well. The amount of gasket maker which is applied on the cylinder head, which is just enclosed with the valves, is very small amount, just to make sure it sits and it touches very well. After installing the cylinder head, after the engine block, and then we have to inspect if everything is well intact. From the engine block, from the gearbox to the engine block, it sits very well. And then from the engine block to the cylinder head, it sits very well as well. And then now it's time to replace the nuts, and then we will fix the tappet opening. Okay, now is the time to replace the timing chain. If you guys remember, there is a position for timing chain installation. That's the upper position, and you will see there are small marks on this one end, just right here. There is this I and the U. That's the upper position. If you install otherwise, then you have to restart. Good. Time to replace the bolts from the cylinder head. Time to replace the timing chain adjuster. After installing the timing chain adjuster, we tested the compression relation, it's okay. Now we are about to adjust the tappets, which allow the opening and the closing of valves. As you can see, we have to adjust the tappets on both ends. And there is a correct amount of how much they have to be adjusted. If they are too low, there will be delay in opening and closing. But if they are too much, there will be like too much compression, so they won't be opening and closing in a timely manner. Now it's time to replace the exhaust manifold. As you can see, no bolt is being tightened to the end. All of these are done one by one, so that they align perfectly as they are supposed to be. And then we just took out the plug. So removing the plug, we are going to replace the plug as well. This is let me see. This is UR4AC made from India. This is the original, this one which came with the motorcycle. But even this one, I'm not going to throw this one away. I'm going to keep it as a spare part. I know there is a day it will be useful for some reasons. As you can see here, I have this old plug and this new plug. The new plug is from China, is made from China. But this one, the original one, is made from India. So I'm going to replace this one from the old one. But as I said before, I'm going to keep this one as a spare part, and then maybe one day it will be useful. Before completely replacing the cylinder head top cover, what you have to do now, we have to test it, to see everything is functional. The first one, to see if there is a good filing order. If there is no good filing order, then we have to open it, we have to start again. But at the moment we are going to replace this one, and then we have to test it. We are testing the compression. So now we are testing to see if there is a good filing order. As you can hear, there is a good filing order. There is no knocking sound as before. Alright guys, so at the moment the motorcycle is running well. You can hear now the sound is smooth. The firing order is great. And as you can see, by conclusion, at the moment in the speculation, I had about 3 possible problems. The first one was to check the tappets. The second one was to check the piston ring to see if they are okay or not okay. The third one was to check the timing chain to see if we can adjust it. And the fourth assumption was to check if the piston and the piston rings are not okay. But the timing chain is okay. The tappets are okay, even though we adjust them a little bit. But we came to realize the problem was the piston. The piston was worn out and it was touching the cylinder walls. That's why it was making noise. So I've changed the piston as I showed you guys. But also I changed the plug and I changed the gasket kit, and now it runs free and it runs well, as you can see now. The idling is okay, which means the firing order is great as well. Thanks for watching guys, and I hope to see you on the next one.
Like, comment, and subscribe.